Hi, good afternoon, one and all. Let us today we are going to discuss about two more topics apart from that transportation, the circulatory system. So today we are going to discuss about the topics like evolution of the transport. I mean that circulatory system, and the second one is blood pressure. Of course, we are having one more topic, blood coagulation or blood clotting. So, see children, today apart from that third chapter, transportation, the circulatory system. So, in this regards, already we discussed several concepts regarding this transportation or circulation, like blood vessels, heart, single circulation, double circulation, and the fluids like these lymphatic system. So these are the concepts what we have to discuss in the previous videos. So now today just we are going to concentrate only two more topics. Those are called as evolution of the transport or circulatory system. The second one is blood pressure, means BP. Generally we are measuring the BP for our blood pressure. So let us come into the topic evolution. What do you mean by evolution? Evolution in the sense it is a gradual changes from simple to complex. Gradual changes in the sense, for example, say in a general classification about animal kingdom from lower to higher organisms, lower to higher organisms. Like for example, it is already we have learned that ninth class itself, the fifth chapter, diversity in living organisms. I mean that evolution, it is one of the branch of biology which deals with the evolutionary pathway. Like heredity lesson, we learn about these evolution in a detailed manner. But here, apart from this transportation, how the organisms from simple to complex, I mean that unicellular to multicellular animals, how to develop that transport system or circulatory system, how they have to transport the nutrients to the cells. So in this order, so according to that, first let us come into that the simplest intracellular transport system which is present in the unicellular organisms. I mean the simplest intracellular means within the cell. For example, let us take amoeba is a unicellular organism. How the nutrients are transported within the cell, that is called as intracellular. Intra means within the cell. Within the cell, the transport system is occurs in a unicellular organism. Why? Because obviously they are having only one cell, but we are considered as the single cell organism. Single cell organism. So I mean that the simplest intracellular transport system occurs in the unicellular organism. While coming to that multicellular animals, more than one cells are called as multicellular. Obviously, the group of cells are called as tissues, plant tissues, animal tissues, and organ systems. As at present, we are going to study. So, apart from that, organ systems, we are studying about digestion is completed, respiration is completed. Now we are studying about the transport system. So, let us come into the multicellular animals have to develop more complicated system for transportation of materials when compared to unicellular. So when compared to unicellular, multicellular animals have to develop a separate system to transport these materials. For example, like the solids, substances like glucose, amino acids, proteins, vitamins, fats, mineral salts. Whereas coming to the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, coming to the liquids like water, enzymes and hormones. So all these nutrients are very essential to each and every cell. For this process, the animals have to develop a separate transport system or circulatory system. Let us come into the discussion of evolutionary pathway from these protozoans to echinodermates. Echinodermates, like these are the 9 phylums of invertebrates. So already learn about the general classification of animal kingdom in the 9th class 5th chapter, diversity in living organisms. There we learn about the animal kingdom is mainly two kinds based on the presence of spinal cord. The organisms which are having the spinal cord or vertebral column, those are called as vertebrates. The lack of vertebral column is called as invertebrates. Obviously, those are called as invertebrates or non-chordates. Those are 9 phylums from Protozoa, Porifera, Coelenterata లేదా Nidaria. Next, Platyhelminthes, Nematohelminthes. These 5 phylums are called as lower phylums. Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. These 4 phylums are called as higher phylums of invertebrates. So, how the transport system is evolved or developed from amoeba, I mean that protozoans like amoeba to echinodermats like starfish. Next, so in this way, we have to discuss about the phylum wise. Let us take an example. See, protozoans. Proto means first, zoans means first animals. Obviously, the first animals like it is a very simple systems. They are having a very simple system. Amoeba. Let us take an example of protozoans like amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. So this is called as a protoplasm. The fluid-filled portion of that amoeba. This is called as a protoplasm. So natural protoplasmic movements is occurs. So naturally the protoplasmic currents will occurs. So these movements are called as Brownian movements. So simple diffusion process, the oxygenated water is entered into the amoeba and the food captured by the pseudopodia. So the food is transported. The transportation of the materials within the cell, like the intracellular transportation, is just like by the Brownian movements. So through Brownian movements, I mean that natural protoplasmic movements, the amoeba like protozoans, they can done by this transportation or circulation. Next, coming to the Porifera, pores pharex. That means Porifera means they are having a number of pores. It is a just like the best example like sponges or cyclones. So they are having the sedimentary life. They are stick on the rocks. They completely live in the sea water or salt water. So they are having the marine aquatic system. So obviously through the pores the sea water always transports. Of course, these natural sea water transportation, they are having some flagellate circulation within the body. They have to transport this water, sea water. So through sea water only they obtain the nutrients. So through sea water they obtain the nutrients in these sponges. Let us come into the next phylum, Nidaria. So C is silence, Nidarians. Why? Because these are called as Nidarians means the hydras are jellyfish. So hydra and jellyfish is coming to the under the phylum of Nidarians are nidoblast cells. If whenever we are touching the hydra, so these are called as the tentacles. They have to inject some poisonous like structure through these nidoblast cells. So that on behalf of that nature, these are called as Nidarians or coelentrates. Nidarians or coelentrates. So they are having, for example, this is the hydra. This is the diploblastic in nature. Diploblastic means these are called as epidermal cells. These are called as endodermal cells. These are epidermal layer. These are called as endodermal. This is called as a diploblastic means ectoderm and endoderm. These are called as tentacles. So when coming to the Nidarians like coelentrates like hydra, they are having some blunt sac-like structure. This is called as a gastrovascular cavity. So gastrovascular cavity is present first time in the Nidarians or nidoblast. Next phylum, Platyhelminthes. Flat. So the body is just like a flat, like a ribbon shaped structure. These are called as flat worms. Helminthes means it's a type of worms. So these are called as flat worms. Example that given to the textbook concern, Fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica means it is in a liver. Hepatitis means liver. Or the study of liver is called as hepatology. So Fasciola hepatica means it's a liver fluke. Common name is liver fluke. The scientific name is Fasciola hepatica, which is the internal parasite of these sheep or goat. So these liver fluke which lives in the internal parasite of sheep or goat's intestinal system, and they have to suck in the blood. So that obviously this liver fluke is having a highly branched and highly developed digestive system. Entire this body directly they are sucking the blood and separate to these cells. So that the liver fluke is having a highly branched digestive system apart from that excretory system. I mean that the total liver fluke is having a excretory system as well as a digestive system. Next phylum is Nemathelminths. This is the flat worms, this is the round worms. So these are the examples of Ascaris, Teniasodium. So these are called as, for example, these are round worms. The body is round, like thread-like structures. So these are called as Nemathelminths. Nemathelminths. So while coming to the Nemathelminths, first time we have to listen that the fluid like structure which is present between the, these are called as these are called as epidermal layers. These are endodermal layers. So the coelom is present between the body cavity and the alimentary canal. So the coelom is present actually while coming to the annelids. We can see that the annelids like aquams. This is called as blood vessels. This is body wall. The space between the alimentary canal, the space between the alimentary canal of gut and the body wall, the space between the alimentary canal and body wall, that is called as coelom. The space between the alimentary canal and body wall is called as a coelom. But the coelom is absent in the flatting helminths. While coming to the Nemathelminths, it is a false coelom. Already we learned that what is meant by coelom. Based on the coelom, we are having three levels of classification. One is acoelomates. These are the options of the coelom. This is a false coelom. It is not a real coelom. It is just like a coelom like appearance. This is called as a false coelomates. Next, from annelids, arthropods, mollusca, echinodermids, these are called as eucoelomates. This is the classification based on the coelom. So coelom is nothing but the space between the body wall and the alimentary canal. This is presence in that from annelids onwards. So of course anyhow the pseudocoelom which takes place the transportation of these Nemathelminths. So the first five phylums like Protozoa, Porifera, Cnidarians are coelomates. Platyhelminths and Nemathelminths, these five phylums are lower phylums. I mean that there is no special kind of transport system is evolved. But let us come into the annelids. These are the worms, means these are called as earthworms, which usually called as the friend of the farmer. So the earthworms usually lives in the moist soil surface and they are obtaining the sandy particles like food items. So these are the first eucoelomates. So the space between the alimentary canal and the body wall, the space is present because of these are called as a triploblastic. So they are having the first developed pulsate vessel. I mean that first time the circulatory system is evolved in the circulatory system is evolved in the Annelida phylum. I mean sir that earthworms. So earthworms means they are having the segmented body. Means the body is like segments. So like stripes the body is segmented. So this is called as a clitellum portion, like 14 to 17 clitellum segments they are having the clitellum portion. The first time the blood vessel, that means two types of blood vessels are there. One is the dorsal blood vessel, second one is the ventral blood vessel. So first time the pulsate blood vessel. Pulsate means the blood flows in the closed pipes like structures are called as the blood vessels. So obviously the blood flows in the closed blood vessels like a pulsate means it's a vibric movement. So this is the circulatory system annelids. Next coming to the arthropods. Arthropods means joint legs. Arthro means joint, pods means legs. So obviously the joint legs. I mean that this is the first, the biggest phylum of animal kingdom because of the arthropoda phylum. The class insects is having a number of organisms in the entire world, a number of species. So apart from that, for example, cockroaches and some mosquitoes, frogs, all these are under the category of these arthropoda phylum. So let us come into the cockroach. Actually, this is the structure of cockroach. So cockroach is having the head, thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. These are having the three regions: head, thoracic and abdominal cavity. These three portions are there. Next, the blood, instead of flowing in the blood vessels, the blood is flowing throughout the body. I mean that the whole body, the blood is circulated. Because of the blood vessels are absent, the blood is not transported in the blood vessels directly. The blood supplies the nutrients to the total the body. So I mean that the blood vessels directly supplies to the nutrients to the tissues. So oxygen is directly, so the oxygen is directly supplied to the respiratory system. Here the hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment is absent, so that there is no carrying of oxygen to the blood to heart. So the heart is obviously 13 chambers heart is present here. Cockroach, the total body is having the heart. So the whole body, the blood is circulated. The whole body blood is circulated. So this type of circulatory system is called as open type of circulatory system. So we are having two types of circulation mainly. One is a closed circulation like annelids, best example. Second one is the open type of circulatory system. This is called as cockroaches, means arthropods. This is the well developed when compared to arthropods. Annelids are well developed coming to the blood circulatory system. So this is called as a tracheal respiration. Already we studied in the respiration chapter, tracheal respiration, which is present in the insects. So lack of hemoglobin, the blood is white in color in the cockroaches like grasshoppers. The blood is white in color. So this is open, this is closed circulatory system. Next examples, for example, see many mollusks. Mollusk means soft body. Mollusk means snails. For example, see this is the structure of snail. So the snails are having snails are soft body. It is protected by the shell. It is protected by shell which is made up of calcium carbonate like a piece of chalk. So mollusk means snails like oysters or pearls. So these are the under the phylum of mollusca. So best example snails. So many mollusks mean many mollusks and lower chordates. Lower chordates means hemichordata like Belmoclasses, Amphiaxis. These are the lower chordates. So these lower chordates and many mollusks are having the open type of circulatory system. So next coming to the echinodermata. Echino means some thrones-like structures which are present in the starfish. For example, dermata means skin. Dermata means skin. So the skin is obviously having some thrones. So this is why the phylum is called as echinodermata. Example, starfish. So coming to mollusca, the blood is blue in color because of the lack of hemoglobin. But instead of hemoglobin, they are having some copper element in that blood, so that the blood is blue in color. So this is called as a open type of circulatory system. Next, coming to the closed type of circulatory system, which already we discussed just now. The blood flows only in the closed blood vessels and supply the nutrients to the cells. For example, annelids. So this is called as a closed type of circulatory system, which we can see in that Cephalopoda mollusca. So many of the mollusks is having the open type, but coming to the mollusca, we are having the different classes. So one of the class is Cephalopoda. Best example, octopus. So octopus means they are having the 8 arms. So this is about the simple to complex. I mean that some small unicellular organisms to multicellular organisms, transport system, evolutionary pathway. Till now we discussed. Next, second point is blood pressure. Obviously, the blood flows in the blood vessels. Mainly, the heart is a pumping organ which pumps the blood through the aorta to right and left arms. Right and left arms. So the blood arises. The blood flows in the arteries with some high pressure that we can measure with a tool that we call as a sphygmomanometer. I mean that we can measure the blood, how much pressure the blood flows in the blood vessels, that we can measurable by a tool that we obviously call as a sphygmomanometer. Just we have to look at a glance of textbook, page number 62. So this is about blood vessel. This is about the artery. So from aorta to artery arises. So we can measure the blood pressure usually in the upper part of the arm. So doctors measures the blood pressure BP with a device called as sphygmomanometer. BP always measured in the upper arm artery. So BP varies throughout the blood. That means BP varies throughout the body. So a standard basis must be used so that a person's blood pressure can be compared over a period of time. So doctors usually measure the blood pressure with the help of this sphygmomanometer. So let us come into that sphygmomanometer. They are having the two readings. So the first one is 120, the second one is 80. So this is called as a systolic pressure. Systolic pressure is 120, diastolic pressure is called as 80. Systolic and diastolic pressure. So BP will change according to the activity in which a person is engaged, such as resting, walking and running. People who have the high BP during the rest of the period are said to have hypertension. Discuss with your teacher. So coming to the BP, we are going to discuss about two more points. So first one is first letters blood pressure. So obviously the first two letters BP. So blood pressure. So certainly every human being is having a BP, but according to that the measurements of that systolic and diastolic movements. Systole means contraction and relaxation of the contraction and the relaxation of atriums and ventricles are called as systole and diastole. So systolic pressure and diastolic pressures is 120 by 80 mm of Hg measurable to the BP. If it increases the volume, for example, hypertension means, for example, it increases 120 above readings mean 140, like 150, 130 by 100. So this is called as high BP. High BP means hypertension. Next coming to the other situation, low BP, which is also called as hypotension. Mean instead of 120, our systolic pressure is 100, diastolic pressure out of 80, suppose it may be 70, it is called as low BP. So certainly every person is having a blood pressure. That blood pressure is normal 120 by 80. If it is exceeds based on the situation or activity, it leads to that. So for suppose we are in anxiety, we are in some vigorous exercises, we are in walking or we are doing the running. Obviously the blood flows in forcefully. So that time our blood is in having a high reading like high BP, hypertension, automatically the second case is called as hypotension or low BP. So both the conditions are very dangerous. Let us come into the normal BP is 120 by 80. So what is the normal sugar? Normal blood sugar is called as 80 by 120. Here normal BP is 120 by 80. So normal sugar means 80 by 120 mm of Hg. So this is called as sugar, normal sugar. That means diabetic patients usually we are taking the blood test by sugar test. So this is called as blood sugar levels. 80 by 120 is the normal. Here 120 by 80 is the normal blood pressure. Next one more topic is that is called as blood coagulation. Blood coagulation means how to prevent the blood while flowing or while cutting the blood vessels. So how to stop the blood bleeding, that is the one more topic is rest of this portion of animal circulation or animal transport system. So this we have to discuss in the next video. Thank you children, thank you very much.